I get the sneaky suspicion that you are one decision away from changing everything about your life. And that's why you're here. And if you stick with me today, I'll give you that one decision, the one decision that you and everyone listening and watching can make that will absolutely take you to whatever level you're looking to go to in your life. Life is, of course, all about decisions. And what got me here today, as far as the confidence to share with you and make it make sense, was that I myself made a decision. Shocking. And it is one that has paid massive dividends and has been a huge return on investment for my life throughout everything that life offers me on every scale. And one of the ways I quantified this recently is that I made a phone call to 10 people who I was close with 5 years ago to kind of get a gauge on where they're at. And yes, I haven't spoken to any of these people for about 5 years. I get how that sounds. But now in these conversations, I ask some basic questions around, first of all, how are you? And all of them are doing good. All of them are doing well. All of them are living their lives. So let's get that out the way quick because I do want to make that obvious and abundantly clear. But now in my conversations with these folks, after you get over that, oh my God, it's been 5 years. What have you been doing? And all that other stuff that goes with it. I asked some very poignant questions. I wasn't super obvious about my intention, but just some real direct. I'm just curious about where you're at in some of these basic categories. How's your work relationship going? And across the spectrum, all 10. It's pretty good. All is well. Nothing too crazy to talk about. I'm good. Cool. In your work life, if you don't mind me asking, where are you in your pay? Just about where I was 5 years ago. Made some general, increases, 2 to 3%. But generally speaking, they're all in the same range. Cool. Where are you with your physical, mental, emotional health? Same place. I had one person tell me, well, I've gone from obese to overweight. So there's that. There's some progress there. Relationally, where you at? Still married, still single, kids doing well? All those boxes, check, check, check. For the most part, everything is going relatively well. Nothing has really changed. Not much is different, except if you haven't put 5 years into perspective, almost 2,000 days have passed, over 43,000 hours, and over 2 million minutes of your life. Might be a bit pedantic, I know, but just some context to consider when you say it's just been 5 years. And so now for the sake of comparing and contrasting, to give you an idea of what 5 years could mean, I answered those questions across the spectrum for myself. And in 5 years professionally, I've gotten 3 promotions. I've worked for 4 different companies. I've gotten 7 bonuses that have been double the amount of the salary I made where I was 5 years prior. My salary in general has more than doubled. And I'm doing pretty well in the professional category, at least by my standards. Relationally, my wife and I probably have never been in a better place. Yes, we've gone through some things. And yes, we fought. And yes, like any investment, there's the significant ups and the highs. And there's some crashes in the market that make you question life. The kids are doing well. They're exposed to different things than they were 5 years ago because I've been exposed to different things from 5 years ago. And oh, by the way, I changed my environment entirely and moved to a different state. So what does that mean when you wrap it up and sum it up? Firstly, 5 years, the paradox of time, is both really fast and goes by like that, and is also a long time in that a lot can really change. So let's start there as a baseline. Secondly is that as you consider the types of changes available to you, typically we go into where we are professionally, where we are relationally, where we are with our bodies, where we are with our spirit, where we are with our investments, across where we're able to make investments at. And so you've decided that there's a decision to make in order to possibly optimize one of these things. The main takeaway, I think, aside from the fact to make that decision, is that if you have some fears, some trepidation, some doubt, which is natural because change equates to unknown, and we all know how humans feel about the unknown. It's dark and it's scary down there. There's this. It is likely, just like the 10 people I spoke to, that you're already at a certain level in your life, respectively, across all those areas. And because you are at that specific space, respectively, professionally, relationally, wherever you are with your body, mind, and spirit, that is pretty much your baseline. That is pretty much where you can always come back to. You can always return back to this person that you are right now, because it's likely you've been that person for more than 5 years. And that person is so ingrained into your identity, it's always waiting for you, inclusive of the environment you've built up. Right now, I can go right back to all those 10 people who are in the same space they've been and pick up conversation as if nothing has changed. And we can flow and be fluid because I can relate in that area. So the environment you've built that you're scared to kind of leave, whether it's literal, changing states like I did, changing professions like I did, making new friends like I did, which is almost really eliminating friends. Whatever that decision is, you can make it with the confidence that you can return right back to it. And there's also this reality. When you really put it into perspective and think about it, it's likely not as bad as you believe it is. Because again, these 10 people, they're good. They're good. So what is the actual decision you need to make if you believe you're one decision away? The one decision you need to make is the decision to make different decisions. Because if you haven't picked up on it already, if you stay where you are and nothing changes, then you have made the decision to keep making the same decisions you're making. I'll say it again. If nothing changes, it's not as if you're not already making decisions. You're making decisions today. You just might be so or doing so unconsciously or subconsciously and are just in that routine and flow. But every single day, you're making a decision to keep with your current decisions. So make different decisions. The reality of what types of different decisions you need to make are all predicated off of how bold you want to be, how risky, how daring, how dire, how real about decisions do you want to get, and how real do you want to make a difference in your life across whatever it is you want to make a difference in your life. Some of you listening may be running out of options, and that is incentive enough. And some of you listening may not realize that as the time goes by, you could be running out of options. Either way, if you feel you're one decision away, make the decision to make a different decision. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich.